Today we're taking a look at 15 or maybe 16 cases, I think, for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. I'll be going over slimmer cases, medium build, standard TPU type of cases, and some real tanky armored up cases. As BuzzFeed would ask, what kind of plastic are you? Let's find out. Today we're taking a look at the Benks Aurora Armor Air case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Benks for sending this case over for us to take a look at, as well as sponsoring this video. The Benks Armor Case lineup is built on an ultra-slim Kevlar case design. Utilizing the Kevlar 1000D fiber, the Armor Air case is able to provide some excellent rigidity and a very strong and durable case body. This is definitely one of the thinnest and slimmest profile cases that I've taken a look at so far for the S25 Ultra. There's not a ton of bend in this case, length or width-wise. The sides, the top, and the bottom bumper areas of the case are equally as strong and rigid. There's actually very little flex in the short bumper walls. Installation of this case is very simple. Essentially, you just slot the S25 Ultra into either the top or the bottom, and then press the phone into place to make sure that it's fully seated. It does help to turn the phone off during case installs, but you don't have to. We can see that the cutouts are very sleek on this case. There's plenty of room for the factory screen lock and volume up and down buttons to be pressed. Nothing is obstructing them, so you keep that factory feeling. While this case is not a big and bulky style of case like you might have seen before, we are getting a pretty solid amount of protection, and we are getting even a little bit of screen protection as well in the form of raised corner bezels. They are small, but they do rise just above the glass, just to give the phone a tiny little buffer when it's dropped on a flat surface like tile flooring. Moving on to the USB-C charging, the port cutout is a good size, as well as the speakers and the microphone. The S Pen bay is actually quite small on this case, but I didn't actually have any trouble removing or reinserting the S Pen. Since the case is so slim, there's basically no interference at all, which is awesome. And looking at the back side of the case body, we have the nice looking Armor Air design. I like the coloring here. It's definitely different than those solid color cases. Obviously, since this is woven fiber, there is texture on the entire back surface, as well as both sides. I like that texturing. Combining that with the incredibly slim profile is definitely going to help increase your overall grip on the phone, which will make it less likely that it'll go fumbling out of your hands. As for the camera protection, we do have a standard camera cutout region with a built-up bezel surrounding them. This ensures that when the phone falls on a flat surface, camera side down, those cameras and the lenses won't make contact with whatever flat surface the phone lands on. This is a solid camera protection strategy, in my opinion. I tested the built-in magnet. It was decently strong, and there's basically no chance of it lowering S Pen performance when you're using it. These magnets are super handy for the magnetic rings that people commonly use, or mounting your phone in your car for navigation. Since the case is so thin, it's basically going to work on any wireless Qi charger that you have. I didn't have any issues while testing it on mine. Overall, I think this is an incredibly well-built and well-designed slim case for your S25 Ultra. There's no bulk, you're not changing the profile of the phone, and you're still getting a solidly strong case, MagSafe support, and subjectively speaking, I like the look of this case as well. If you're interested in picking one of these up for your S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this video, I would definitely appreciate it if you could smash that like button. That tells YouTube to share this video with other people who are researching S25 Ultra slim cases. Smartphones and mobile tech stuff is what I do around here. If you're into that kind of thing, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Today we're taking a look at the Benks Prestige Armor Air case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Benks for sending this case over for us to take a look at, as well as sponsoring this video. If the Benks brand is new to you, they're known for their Kevlar cases for smartphones. Kevlar case construction offers excellent strength and durability while maintaining a very slim case profile and still being extremely strong and lightweight. The Prestige Armor Air case is weighing in at just 24 grams, and it's only 1 millimeter thick. That's kind of insane when you consider that during my flex test, this case was quite rigid, even more rigid than some of the thicker, or even a couple of the dual layer cases, using TPU and TPC material. In my opinion, this case makes for a solid, protective second skin almost for your smartphone. You don't have to deal with any of that added bulk, changing the shape or profile of the phone, and installation was super easy on top of that. The Kevlar material in general is quite strong, as you'll see in my flex testing. It should serve you well in protecting those edge surfaces of the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Inevitably, you're going to drop your phone, so it's something you want to pay attention to. As a super nice quality of life feature, and a protection feature in my opinion, this case is textured all over on the external surfaces. The weave texture that's part of how they built this Kevlar case is quite nice in my opinion, and I think it's going to help with overall grip, combined with that slim profile, which should hopefully help keep you from dropping your smartphone as often as some of the smoother or larger cases. In looking at this case, I don't think I've ever had a case with this color scheme before. After working with this case on the S25 Ultra for a little while though, I kinda like it. It's not a flashy case, more subtle colors, kinda classy for a smartphone case in my opinion. That being said, I do still like a nice race car red colored case. They always do catch my eye. As for the button areas of this case, they're essentially cutouts. You'll be using the factory buttons. The cutout is a good size, and it's quite easy to glide your finger over the buttons from a lower side position when you're holding the phone. The USB-C port cutout was a good size. No issues with my USB-C cable, which was nice to see. As for the S Pen bay, it's a little bit small, but since this case is so incredibly it really didn't matter. Removing the S Pen and reinserting it was actually quite easy. In looking at the camera protection strategy, we're looking at the standard camera cutout region with a raised bezel. This raised bezel or frame option puts about 1 to 2 millimeters between the camera lenses and any flat surface that the phone might come into contact with if it lands camera side down. From my past experiences, I would say this is plenty of clearance to keep those lenses and the cameras safe in drop scenarios. This case also supports MagSafe accessories. You can use things like magnetic rings and car mounts for navigation. Definitely a welcome feature in my opinion, especially for a case that's this thin. I use the MagSafe accessories on my personal and work phone basically every day. In case you were wondering, yes, this case is compatible with wireless charging. Since this case is so incredibly thin, it basically should work on virtually all wireless Qi chargers. My overall thoughts on the Prestige Armor Air case, I would say that I'm a fan of this case. Typically, I do go straight for tank mode cases on most of my smartphones, but the strength of this Kevlar case is really something to think about. I think combining this case with a tempered glass screen protector would really level up the overall case protection, and you wouldn't be compromising on weight or profile. You'd still have a relatively slim smartphone that didn't weigh a ton. As for where this case competes in the market, it definitely is not the cheapest type of case that you can buy for your Galaxy S25 Ultra. But then again, it's not made from cheaper to produce materials like TPU or TPC, it's Kevlar. And in my opinion, I kind of like the visual design on the Armor Air cases. I think they're pretty slick looking. So if you're looking for a really good value, slim profile case for your S25 Ultra, in my opinion, this case is definitely worth it, as it's very strong, super thin, and it supports MagSafe accessories. If you want to learn more about these cases, or pick one of these up for your Galaxy S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so head down there and check that out. If you got anything out of this video, go ahead and smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this with other Galaxy S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Benks Aurora Armor Pro case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Benks for sending this case over for us to take a look at, as well as sponsoring this video. The Benks Armor Pro case lineup is built on the ultra slim Kevlar case designs that they have. Utilizing the Kevlar 600D grade fiber, the Armor Air case is able to provide some excellent rigidity, as well as a very strong and durable case body. This is definitely one of the nicer and slimmer profile type cases that I've looked at for the S25 Ultra series. In testing this case out, there's not a ton of bend in it lengthwise or widthwise. The sides, the top, and the bottom bumper area of the case is made of a very soft feeling material, which will hold the S25 Ultra well. They have a relatively good thickness, and there's a little bit more bounciness to them than the Kevlar backing, which is nice. Installation of this case is relatively simple. Essentially, you just slot the S25 Ultra in at either the top or the bottom, and then press the phone in and just make sure that it's fully seated by pressing all around the phone. It can help to turn the phone off, but you don't have to. The Armor Pro case is offering button protection as well for the screen lock and volume up and down buttons. I'd say that the clickiness feeling is nice on this case. As for screen protection, this case does offer a screen side bezel, which will help with flat surface drop scenarios. The case's bezel will come into contact with flat surfaces first instead of glass, and this will help shield the S25 Ultra from fall damage. As for the USB-C port, the cutout is relatively small, but my bigger USB-C cable did fit when I plugged it in. The speaker and microphone cutouts are also decently sized as well. As for the S Pen bay, it is quite small in this case, but I didn't actually have any trouble removing or reinserting the S Pen. Because this case is so slim, there is essentially no interference. And looking at the backside of the case body, we have the Armor Pro weave design. I kind of like this design. It's a little bit different than looking at those solid color type cases. Since this case is a tighter 600D weave, we do have that patterning, but the case backing is relatively smooth, and we do have those softer TPU material sides. As for the camera protection, we have a standard camera cutout region with a built-up bezel. This will ensure that when the phone falls flat and it lands camera side down, that those cameras and the lenses won't make contact with whatever flat surface the phone is impacting. This is a decent camera protection strategy, in my opinion. I tested the built-in magnet. It's got a decent amount of strength, and I don't think it's going to interfere with the S Pen functionality. These MagSafe magnets are super handy for those magnetic rings and car mounting for navigation. In general, this case is so thin, it basically is going to work with any wireless Qi charger that you've got. I didn't have any issues while testing multiple orientations on mine. Overall, I think this is an incredibly well-built and designed slim case for your Galaxy S25 Ultra. There's really no bulk to speak of on this case. It's not going to change the profile of your S25 Ultra, and you're still getting a very strong case, MagSafe support, and this case probably is never going to show fingerprints because of the design. Kinda neat. If you're interested in picking one of these up for your S25, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so you can head down there and check that out. If you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching super thin and strong cases. Smartphones and mobile tech stuff is basically all I do around here. Get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Crave dual guard case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Crave for sending these cases over for the video. If you're new to the Crave case brand, they're known for offering sleek profile cases while maintaining some solid protection for each of the smartphone models that they support. The dual guard cases that I have here today are the black and the forest green options, but you can actually pick these up in quite a few different colors. They have aqua, red, berry, pink, gray, and blue, so there's definitely something out there for you. These cases are composed of two main pieces. You have an inner, softer TPU layer and a harder outer TPC casing to protect that. The inner layer, like I said, is very soft. It's going to be providing that cushioning factor when you inevitably end up dropping your S25 Ultra. I know a lot of people have voiced concerns about the interior part of smartphone cases actually scratching smartphones, so you can rest assured that there is absolutely no risk of that, since this soft TPU material is the only material that actually touches the S25 Ultra. As for cleaning and maintaining your phone with this case installed, it's relatively easy to remove it and clean your phone, so that's definitely a plus, and it's not something that I often see in smartphone case reviews. As far as protection goes, there's a relatively good amount of material all around the perimeter of the phone. Crucially, the softer TPU material from that inner sleeve extends up past the height of the glass on the S25 Ultra. This is going to help with screen protection during flat surface drop scenarios. That little bit of material is going to make a huge difference. Essentially, the glass is not going to directly impact any hard flat surface. When I say that, I mean things like tile flooring in a kitchen, concrete sidewalks, or asphalt streets. You're definitely not going to have a good night if your S25 Ultra glass meets a street after a night on the town. I really think this is a nice little protection feature to have, in my opinion, and it also kind of helps give you some screen protection without needing or completely relying on a screen protector. I would definitely still recommend a screen protector. You could really level up the overall coverage of your S25 Ultra combined with this case and not increase the profile for the case very much. I think that's a small win and definitely something I think pairing thinner cases with nice screen protectors is really a killer combo that a lot of people tend to overlook. In examining that outer harder shell for the case, it's relatively rigid and it really complements that inner TPU layer well, in my opinion. The inner TPU layer is molded to fit comfortably on the S25 Ultra, but that outer shell essentially is going to lock that in place on the phone. The entire backing and the sides of the outer shell is also textured, which I really like. This is kind of a quality of life and protection feature in my opinion, because it's going to increase wet and dry grip. The better grip you have on your smartphone, the less likely you are to drop the smartphone in the first place. As for the camera protection strategy, we have a standard camera cutout region with a built-up bezel. Similarly to the front side of the case, this bezel protecting the cameras will help prevent the camera and camera lens from actually meeting any flat surfaces, like I had mentioned before. We've got about 1 to 2 millimeters worth of depth between that lens and any flat surface that the phone will come into contact with if it lands camera side down. As for the warranty, Crave does offer lifetime warranties on their cases, which I think is a nice factor as well. Since this case is so thin, there is no issues charging vertically or horizontally on my wireless Qi charger, and as for the USB-C cutout, it was easily big enough to fit the slightly larger USB-C cable that I use for testing. I thought the S Pen bay was a good size as well. I didn't have any issues removing or reinserting it. So in my opinion, if you're into a thinner style case because you're more active with your Galaxy S25 Ultra and you don't want all that extra bulk that those bigger style cases give you, I think you're still going to get some decent protection with the dual guard case, and you can even level that up with a screen protector if you feel like you need one. As far as pricing for the Crave cases, they compete really well in terms of pricing for the Galaxy S25 Ultra case market, in my opinion. If you're interested in checking one of these out or picking one up for your S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this one, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button. That tells YouTube to recommend this video to other S25 Ultra owners who are researching slimmer but protective cases. If you're into smartphones and mobile tech stuff, that's basically all I cover here. Get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. If you're new to the channel, definitely take a look at some of the other content I've released. I've reviewed quite a few cases, done some smartphone optimization guides, and created just a couple of thoughts type videos on new releases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the iBlason ArmorBox case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to iBlason for sending this case over for us to take a look at. Over the last couple of years, I've evaluated quite a few of the ArmorBox cases, and this case is really designed for people who want ultra protection for their S25 Ultra. It's a real beefy, strong, and very functionally focused case. The ArmorBox case features 2 interlocking layers made from TPU and TPE materials. The screen side layer is basically a frame with a built-in screen protector that gets installed first. Then you place that assembled front half into the main rear case body. The installation is not too difficult, but I do often see people struggling with it when they haven't used a case like this before. In order to separate them, you just have to peel off that bottom right side, or left side if the case is upside down, like how I normally do it, and then they separate easily. In terms of the protection factors for this case, the front frame has that built-in screen protector. It's a good thickness in my opinion, and it's going to deal with common stuff that's going to come into contact with your S25 Ultra screen very well. Stuff like keys, change, random stuff on a desk, anything like that, it's not going to scratch through. The ArmorBox case also protects the screen in that it forms a bezel on the front side of the screen, which extends up past the height of the glass on the S25 Ultra. This is actually a super important feature for keeping the screen safe, because it means that when you drop your phone on a flat surface, something like a tile floor, concrete floor, or sidewalk, or even an asphalt street, when the phone impacts, it'll actually hit the case and not directly on the glass. That's very important. The glass is not going to win in that battle. Having the case make that actual impact with the ground surface will allow the case to absorb and redistribute those impact forces, which should help save the glass. The harder frame that goes into this case is supported by that softer TPU material that essentially locks the frame into place. They really complement each other well, and there's no chance of this case separating or coming apart when you drop your phone. As for the main rear case body, this is a beefy, bulky case, and that's really what I personally prefer. We've got plenty of TPU material here in order to really cradle the S25 Ultra in the case and keep it safe. The structure of the case is quite good. It's relatively rigid and it maintains some of that bounciness, which I think is really key to achieving a good balanced case. The entire bumper of this case, the outer perimeter of all of the material, it's all reinforced well, and it resisted when I pushed and kind of pulled on it to try to see how malleable that material was. I also like that the corners are massively reinforced with extra material. That's definitely what you want to see in a protective case. It is worth mentioning too, though, that the sides of the case, they also have these grippy sections. That's a solid quality of life feature, but it's also really going to help with case protection. The increased grip is going to help you to hold on to that phone better, and you'll end up dropping it less as a result. As for the back surface, it's actually a little smooth. I would like to see them improve on this by adding some textured areas towards the bottom, kind of in the middle. That's really where your hand and your fingers will go to get grip on the back side of the case, but you're still covered by the grippy sections on the side when you're holding it one-handed. This case also supports MagSafe accessories, things like the magnetic rings, car mounts for navigation. I find those to be super useful, so I'm happy to see that. Moving on to the camera protection strategy, we have a very strong locking door to protect those cameras. We do have a standard camera cutout region, and there is a little bit of a built-up bezel surface that'll protect the cameras and the lenses if you drop your phone and that camera door is even open. The door itself has a nice heavy feeling to it, and on the inside of the door it has this really nice felt type material as well. The door is resistant to movement and it does lock shut, so even if the phone goes flying out of your hands, the door is not going to come open. The door is actually so resistive that you can basically use this as a kickstand, which is kind of neat, especially if you want to watch videos at your desk or in the kitchen, for example. As for the wireless charging with the case installed, I was able to get this to charge on my lay flat standing wireless Qi charger, but since this case is quite thick, you're definitely going to want to make sure that when you rest your phone on a wireless charger that you've positioned it correctly and it actually starts charging. On some of the older, weaker chargers or ones that aren't lay flat or just have a funky surface to them, you might want to think about upgrading your Qi charger, especially if it's not a newer, faster model. In looking at the USB-C port, we have a durable flap cover here, which is super helpful to keep out dust, debris, and excessive moisture. That's definitely going to help keep the USB port working over the lifetime of the phone. The flap is a little stiff or tough to move at first, but again, you really don't want this to be too loose. It is meant to protect that port. Looking at the S Pen bay, it's a good size. I didn't have any issues removing and reinserting the S Pen. In my opinion, this is definitely one of the top tier choices for protection for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. You're getting a lot of features, functionality, and I really think the value is there. The version that I looked at today is the black version, but you can grab this case in blue, green, and red as well. And personally, I think red looks the best. If you're interested in picking one of these up for your S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching ultra protective cases. Smartphones and mobile tech stuff is basically what I cover here. If you're into that kind of thing, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the iBlason Cosmo Series Ultra Clear case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to iBlason for sending this one over for the video. This case features MagSafe compatibility, a built-in screen protector, and it has an overall protective stance for your S25 Ultra. This is actually a totally clear case made from flexible and soft TPU and TPE material. It's all too often that we end up encasing our phone in a nice case, but then we never actually see the color of our smartphone again. So these ultra clear cases are always nice to look at. This case is offering quite a bit of protection as well. We have a dual layer interlocking case design. The front frame has a built-in screen protector, which is definitely appreciated. The screen protector is a decent thickness, and in general, I think this is going to hold up well against all the normal stuff that's going to come into contact with your S25 Ultra and scratch it. Things like keys, change, random stuff on your desk, or wherever you set your phone down. The frame provides some rigidity for the case, and it snaps onto the front or screen side of the phone. Essentially, to finish the install, you basically just insert that into the main rear case body and then push it all together. Another protection feature that I like about this case is the raised bezel on the entire front side of the phone. In my opinion, that's a very helpful feature for flat surface drop scenarios. Think when you drop your phone on a surface like a tile floor, a concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street, you definitely do not want your glass meeting that surface directly. The glass is definitely going to lose that battle. The bezel that we have here ensures that the phone always impacts the ground with some surface of the case and not the phone itself. The case will absorb and redistribute some of these impact forces, which is definitely going to help keep your glass safe. As for the fingerprint sensor accuracy, it was relatively good. I didn't have many issues unlocking with either my left or my right thumbprint, so I like to see that. As far as interlocking frame type cases go, they're typically very strong and they connect very tightly as well. It's ultra clear case for the Samsung Galaxy, even if your phone goes tumbling out of your hands. As for the protection aspects of the main rear case body, it's totally TPU, so it's very soft and flexible. This material I find does grip well with the skin, even without the textured areas on the case. I would say that this case is still decently thick though. There's at least a few millimeters of material here, basically all around the phone, so your S25 Ultra is going to be well protected no matter how you drop it, whether it be a side, top, or bottom impact. The corners are about the same thickness as the sides, but they are a lot stronger because the case is curved and angled in such a way where when they join together, they really form a nice structure. I found that they were resistant to compressing when I was pushing and pulling on them, which I like to see. This case does feature an N52 or neodymium magnet rated at a strength of about 52. I found the magnet to be decently strong when I tested it with my Anker mag ring, and it didn't seem to impact the S Pen. As for the camera protection strategy, nothing fancy here, nothing over the top. We have the standard camera cutout region for the cameras and the flashlight. There's a built-up bezel around this camera cutout though, that'll be helpful for flat surface drops when the phone lands camera side down. Just like the front side, you don't want those camera lenses impacting any of those hard surfaces, so this is a nice feature. As for the charging capability of this case, wireless Qi charging was no issue on my lay flat Qi charger, and looking at it, I think compatibility overall is going to be good with most of the wireless chargers. The USB-C cutout was a good size, my larger USB-C cable fit easily, and I would say the S Pen bay was also a good size. I didn't have any issues removing or reinserting the S Pen, so that's good. After using this case for a little bit, I think it's a really solid all-around pick, especially if you don't want to hide your S25 Ultra away while you own it. I think we're getting solid protection front and back, and the magnet was decently strong as well. If I had to guess, I think this is going to be a desirable option for a lot of S25 Ultra owners, and the pricing should be competitive. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below if you want to pick up one of these for your S25 Ultra. If you got any value out of this one, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Subcase UB Grip Case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Subcase for sending this one over for us to take a look at. This case is a part of the Unicorn Beetle family of cases, so protection is at the forefront of the case design, but this variant specifically promises enhanced grip, which is an interesting angle for a case in my opinion. I'm pretty sure that if I randomly ask my friends or family members about what they look for in a case, nobody is going to come back to me saying that they even consider grip as a factor when they buy a smartphone case. If you think about it, most of the time that you're actually using your phone, you're probably going to be holding onto it. This case prominently features two grippy sections on either side of the case, and I found them to work quite well, even with a relaxed hand grip, which is kind of nice. Something else to think about when you're shopping for cases on the S25 Ultra will ultimately increase the width of the phone, so grip really does become a factor there because the phone becomes a little bit larger. This case is more than just the enhanced grip though. We have some solid protection features as well. For example, this case has no built-in screen protector, but the case actually forms a bezel that extends up past the height of the glass on the S25 Ultra by a massive 4 millimeters. 4 millimeters might not sound like a whole lot, but this is actually going to go a long way in terms of protecting your screen in flat surface drop scenarios. Think about when you drop your phone on something like a hard tile floor, a concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street. Your S25 Ultra's glass is not going to win any of those battles. You don't want it coming into contact with any of those surfaces. The bezel on the case ensures that when you drop your phone onto one of those surfaces, that the case actually makes that initial impact and not the glass. And because the bezel extends all around the screen, it doesn't matter what angle your phone drops at. The TPU material that they're using is very strong, but it retains a certain level of bounciness, which I really like to see in cases that I use on my own smartphone. This case should absorb and redistribute those impact forces when you drop your phone, and that'll ultimately help keep the screen a lot safer. As for protecting the rest of the phone, this case is sized right and it's reinforced well. Subcase actually drop tests this model up to 15 feet, which is quite good. That TPU bumper that you see all around the perimeter of the phone is decently thick, and it's relatively resistant to pushing and pulling on it without it being a harder type of plastic material. I really like that. The corners are also incredibly strong, and the top corner opposite the cameras actually has some kind of built-in metal component, so that's even stronger. I'm not sure how they came up with that, but I actually think it looks kind of cool. As for the case body itself, it's decently strong in my opinion. I don't think any piece of this case is really a weak point, and it's definitely going to be able to sustain quite a bit of damage over the lifetime of the phone. I've used many other UB cases in the past, and this backing material has stood up to years of scratches, drops, everything else that I've put my smartphones through, including testing. This case is coming with MagSafe support, which is awesome. Magnetic rings and car mounts for navigation are very useful, and I personally use these all the time. The magnet is also doubling as a kickstand though, which is quite nice, really useful for watching videos at your desk or just around the house. The magnet is also in the shape of a ring, so if you're looking for a ring and you don't have one yet, good news, it's built in. As for the camera protection strategy, we have two open sections for the camera lenses here. One on the left side for the 3-camera bank, and one on the right side for the 2 cameras and the flashlight. I like that they included this small material here to kind of act as a wall to enclose that camera area a little bit more. This will give you a little bit more protection, and it'll definitely help keep out some of the dust. It won't prevent it all, but it'll help a little bit. This camera area also features some raised bezel sections. They're about 2 millimeters taller than the case body itself, so we have some decent protection in the form of flat surface drops when your phone lands camera side down. As for wireless charging, it worked on my wireless Qi charger, but you're definitely going to want to make sure that the phone is actually charging before you set it down and walk away. The thicker that your case is, the more attention you have to pay to that charging session actually starting. The USB-C cutout was a good size overall, my larger USB-C cable fit well, and the S Pen bay was also a good size. No issues with removing or reinserting the S Pen. Overall, I would have to say that this is a nice variation to the Subcase Unicorn Beetle family of cases. If you're looking for some solid protection and features and functionality, but without utilizing their classic 2-layer interlocking frame design, this case is definitely what you're looking for. I'll leave an affiliate link below, so head down there and check it out if you want to pick one of these up. I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like on this video if it helped you out. That tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. As you probably can see, this channel is dedicated to smartphones and accessories. If you're into that kind of thing, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Subcase UB Mag XT case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Subcase for sending this one over for us to take a look at. The Subcase UB Mag XT The Subcase UB Mag XT cases fall under the UB family since they offer quite a bit of reinforced case protection, but they aren't dual layer designs like the Pro series of cases. The Mag XTs consist of a main case body that basically snaps onto place for the S25 Ultra. We're getting all of the other important bits as far as case protection goes: raised bezels on the screen side of the case, bolstered corners, strong but bouncy TPU bumper protection, and crucially, that locking camera door for ultimate camera safety in the Mag XT. Diving right into the screen protection a little bit, this case offers that UV protection element, but it allows you to either use the factory Samsung glass if you don't like screen protectors, or potentially supply your own screen protector. No matter which way you decide to go for the screen protector, this case will still offer protection in the form of a bezel which extends up past the height of the glass on the S25 Ultra. Essentially what this means, when you drop your S25, if it falls onto a flat surface, something like a hard tile floor, concrete sidewalk, or asphalt street, the case is actually going to make that initial impact with the ground, absorbing and redistributing a portion of those impact forces. This is going to help keep that screen crack-free, in that there'll be less pressure on the glass in that direct area, and you really don't want the glass meeting any of those hard surfaces in general. When looking at the TPU bumper for this case, it's that softer bit that encloses the case all around the perimeter of the phone. It's got a good amount of material here that's definitely going to help soak up those impact forces when you do drop the phone, and it does hold its form while remaining a little bit bouncy, which is definitely something that I think is really important for case protection. The corners are also reinforced with stronger material. There's a little bit extra there because we all know on occasion your phone is going to go flying out of your hands. One thing that I definitely like about the Subcase UB cases is that they do pay attention to grip, especially when focusing on the sides. We have these nice grippy sections on the left and the right side of the phone, which will help you have a better grip on the phone, probably resulting in you dropping it less. It's also just a nice quality of life item to have. In looking at the back side of this case, it is relatively flat, but it does feature a MagSafe magnet. These are handy for magnetic ring add-ons or mounting the phone in the car for navigation. Next up, we do have the camera protection strategy. The cameras are probably most of the reason that you're actually buying a brand new flagship smartphone, so you really want to make sure that your case is doing its job to protect them. The case has a camera cutout region with a built-up bezel, but this case crucially includes a locking camera door, which is awesome. This door is a little bit heavier, a little bit more robust, and is actually quite resistive to movement back and forth. On top of that, it actually locks in that shut position. I also noted that the inside of the door has this softer felt-like material, which I definitely like. There's just no chance that the door will cause any damage to the camera lenses, and since it's relatively beefy, it's really going to do a good job at protecting those cameras when you drop your phone. As for charging with this case, I didn't have any trouble with my wireless Qi charger, which is nice. The USB-C cutout is a decent size in my opinion, and I tested my larger USB-C cable, and that fit well. Looking at the S Pen bay, this is a decent size also. No issues with pulling the S Pen out or reinserting it. In my opinion, I'd have to say that this case overall is solidly protective for your S25 Ultra, and I think it's going to compete really well in terms of the case market for the S25 Ultra. Because of the design that this case has, it is going to give you a little bit of freedom to either opt for that factory glass feeling, or if you want to try to mix and match screen protectors with this case. I'm always a fan of tempered glass, but you can really opt for whatever you'd like. If you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this one, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Subcase UB Pro Case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Subcase for sending this one over for the video. The UB Pro series of cases from Subcase are known for being super protective cases at a super friendly price, bringing some serious value to your smartphone experience. The UB Pro that I have here today is the clear version, but you can pick these cases up in black, green, and my all-time favorite, red. As for the UB Pro series of cases though, they consist of two interchangeable front frame options, as well as this main rear case body. This is a very tough design. The front frame offers rigidity, and that option of no screen protector or a built-in screen protector is something that people definitely appreciate, whether you want that factory glass experience or if you want some scratch protection. Combining the beefy main rear case body made from TPU with one of these frames, we end up with a very strong and grippy case that has that very soft touch TPU feeling. There's more than enough TPU on this case to shield your S25 Ultra in most drops, which is awesome. This material is very strong, but it also retains a little bit of that bounciness that you definitely want to see in a smartphone case. Thanks to the bezel that this case is creating for your S25 Ultra, you are going to end up getting some screen protection no matter which front frame option you end up choosing. The bezel that the case creates is taller than the glass height, so when you drop your phone on a flat surface like a tile floor, concrete sidewalk, or even an asphalt street, the case actually ends up making an impact and not the glass. This is all thanks to that bezel extending all around the perimeter of the smartphone, ensuring that no matter what angle your phone drops on any of those flat surfaces, the case will always make that initial impact. At the end of the day, you purchased a smartphone case, you wanted it to do its job, absorbing and redistributing impact forces. Of course, we are getting a frame with that built-in screen protector. This is actually the version that I prefer. We've got some solid scratch resistance here without requiring a tempered glass solution. And of course, this is a perfect fit as well as being removable, so you can actually kind of clean your phone. The fingerprint unlock accuracy with the built-in screen protector was good, and the S Pen was able to glide over the screen decently. The TPU bumper that wraps around the frame option you choose is nice and grippy thanks to the textured traction strips along the sides, but the grip is also enhanced just because of the material that they're using. This TPU material generates a little bit of friction when you hold it in your hand, which is perfect. As for the main rear case body, it's quite solid, especially with the front frame installed. There's very little flex widthwise or lengthwise, and of course we do have a couple of millimeters worth of TPU material. That's essentially taking you from cloth DPS to melee tank at level 60. I've used this type of UB Pro case before on my other Samsung smartphones, as well as a couple of my Google Pixels. These cases can really stand up to a lot of abuse from drops, scratches, and the occasional flight plummeting towards some ground surface. I like that we have some solid corner protection as well. The corners are oversized with a little bit of extra material. And on the side opposite the buttons, that grippy section actually goes all the way up to the top. The better grip you have on your phone, the less likely you are to drop it in the first place. We're also getting a kickstand with this case. In my opinion, that's kind of a must-have for watching videos at your desk or if you're cooking in the kitchen. We've also got a really good-sized USB-C protection flap here. This is a nice little feature. It's going to keep dust and debris out of the USB-C port and help ensure that it continues operating normally throughout the life of your phone. Now looking at the camera protection strategy, the reason most people end up buying a flagship smartphone, we've got the classic camera cutout region. This built-up bezel lifts those cameras and the lenses up off of any flat surface that your phone might fall onto. It functions kind of like the bezel on the front side of the phone. When your phone lands camera side down, those lenses won't come into contact with any flat surfaces. As for the button clickiness, they felt clicky enough to me, satisfying enough to know that I did register a button press, so that's good. The S Pen Bay had a good sized cutout in my opinion. I didn't have any issues removing or reinserting the S Pen. I'd have to say that these interlocking type of cases are really my favorite type of case overall in terms of protective cases for smartphones. In my opinion, the UB Pro for the Galaxy S25 Ultra really lives up to the legend that Subcase is built around this brand. The only real negative of this case is the lack of MagSafe compatibility. You might be able to add that back with one of those aftermarket sticker magnets if you really need it. Otherwise, Subcase does actually offer some specific MagSafe models, which I've also taken a look at. So I would say, to sum this one up, if you're really looking for some solid overall protection for your S25 Ultra based on your job, extreme sports, extreme video recording, or you're just really clumsy, the Subcase UB Pro cases should really be at the top of your list. Considering all of the options and accessory we're getting, I really think Subcase is bringing the value, especially at this price point. I'll leave an affiliate link below if you want to pick one of these up for your S25 Ultra, and I'd definitely appreciate it if you could drop a like on this video if it helped you out. That tells YouTube to share this video, with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Tongate Mech case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Tongate for sending this case over for us to take a look at, as well as sponsoring this video. I've taken a look at various Mech cases from Tongate over the last couple of Galaxy releases. I'm quite happy to say that Tongate continues to iterate and improve on the design of the Mech case for every generation. When I took a look at the design for this year's Mech case for the S25 Ultra, I was quite interested to take a look at it. The Mech case for the S25 Ultra features a single-piece main rear case body with a decent amount of TPU and TPE material, as well as a tempered glass screen protector with cleaning and prep materials included. First, we'll take a look at the protection aspects of this case. The main case body essentially just slips over the S25 Ultra here. I typically install these cases from the bottom first, pushing up towards the top, and they usually go in relatively easy. The Mech case is offering a good amount of protection here on the bumper that surrounds the perimeter of the phone. The inside of that bumper is relatively soft, which is definitely something you want. It won't end up scratching the phone, but it'll provide good protection in drop scenarios. As you go up the sides and down the bottom of the phone, you'll notice that the corner sections do get a little bit firmer. This is definitely something I like to see, as this will increase the protection factor for the corners in drop scenarios. Eventually, your S25 Ultra is going to go flying or tumbling out of your hands, so you're definitely going to want some solid corner protection. Importantly, this case also creates a bezel on the front side of the phone, which helps protect the screen glass in a flat surface drop scenario. The case actually extends up past the height of the screen by about 1 to 2 millimeters. This material is going to be responsible for absorbing and redistributing impact forces when your phone lands on a hard surface, something like a tile floor, concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street. Tongate is really leveling up the protection for the screen here because you're getting an included screen protector with this case. In looking at the screen protector, it's a decent thickness in my opinion. It's not flimsy, but it's also not too thick where it's going to block your fingerprint unlock attempts. The glass seems relatively strong, and it should help serve as a very good sacrificial layer to keeping your S25 Ultra in pristine condition, despite however many times you end up scratching it with keys, change, or whatever else is going to come into contact with that screen. As for the backside of the Mech case, texturally, it's relatively smooth, but it does have these nice indents towards the bottom of the case where you would end up gripping the phone with your fingers in a one-handed hold mode. I would definitely like to see for next generation for Tongate to put some texture here in the form of that bumpy grippy sections. I think that'll really help with grip, as well as adding those grippy sections to the left and right side of the bumper. We are getting a dual-use MagSafe magnet kickstand here, which is a nice addition. The magnet was decently strong when I tested it with my Anchor ring, and the kickstand is always helpful for watching videos at my desk, or if I want to watch something while I'm in the kitchen. In terms of the camera protection strategy, we do have a camera cutout region with a little bit of a built-up bezel, but crucially, we got that locking camera door to provide extreme protection for those cameras and the lenses. Everybody knows about the camera doors, and we all love them, especially when they lock shut, and they're built very durably. This one is relatively thick, and when the phone does land camera side down, you can rest assured that those cameras and the lenses will be safe because the inside material on the door is a nice soft felt material. In my opinion, this is definitely how you want to protect those cameras. In terms of charging, while this case is about a medium thickness, I would say, I didn't have any issues with wireless charging on my Qi charger. Generally speaking, I think any decently strong Qi charger will work with this case and the S25 Ultra. I would definitely say lay flat chargers are the best, so just keep that in mind. The USB-C cutout was a decent size in my opinion, as was the S Pen bay. Subjectively speaking, I have to say I'm really digging the way that the Mech case looks. I really like the black version with these red accents, but you can pick this case up in blue, purple, green, violet, red, which probably would be my second choice, and gray. Overall, I think that the Tongate Mech case is a real contender here for value when it comes to S25 Ultra case offerings. I really like the protection factors, the functionality, and value-wise, I think this is going to be hard to beat for the price. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below if you want to pick one of these up for yourself. If you got any value out of this one, I'd definitely appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Spigen liquid air case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's been a little while since I looked at any of the Spigen cases, so I purchased this one to take a look for the S25 Ultra launch. The liquid air cases from Spigen are typically super thin and soft cases. This case is no different. It's made from a really flexible TPU material, and it does have that nice and soft touch. There's definitely enough material here to provide a bit of cushioning for your S25 Ultra when you inevitably drop it. In my opinion, this case was very easy to install and remove, which is handy for when it comes time to clean your smartphone. You are cleaning your smartphone, right? Yeah. As for this case type, it's one of those relatively thin and light cases. It's coming in at just 1.2 ounces, and it only increases the overall profile for your smartphone by just a couple of millimeters. This case is set up in a way basically to cater to people who don't really want those overprotective dual layer type cases. It's a lot lighter, and because it's thinner, it's easier to just grip in your hand. One-handed operation is definitely a lot more possible on this, rather than some of those bigger, tankier cases. In terms of nice features, I like that Spigen put these grippy, slotted traction designs on the sides of this case. That'll definitely help with wet and dry grip. As for the backside of this case, it's also textured, which I'm a huge fan of. I don't really like the soft backing material on a lot of cases, so this is definitely something I like to see. In terms of the overall protection design, this case has raised edges on the screen side of the case. This feature might not sound like a lot, and when you install it, those raised edges might not seem very tall, but this is an important screen protection feature. It will offer protection without a screen protector installed. When your phone falls on a hard flat surface, like a tile floor, sidewalk, or street, something like that, the case will actually make that initial impact with the ground and not an edge or top edge or bottom edge of your phone. This feature has definitely come in handy in the past, and it's saved me from probably a ton of cracks on all of my smartphones. So I always look for this in cases that I purchase for myself. As for the camera protection strategy, there are two cutout areas, but each one is a little bit smaller than what you typically see on other types of cases. The cutouts essentially form two different rows, and the case fills in a little bit more of that surface area surrounding the camera lenses. This is going to help keep out dust, and it doesn't leave as much of that backside near the camera area exposed, which I like. The camera cutouts do have a slight raised bezel surface on them as well. This will function similarly to how the front side bezel functions. When your phone lands camera side down, this will help protect those lenses. As for the charging capability, no issues charging wirelessly on my dock. As for the charging capability, I didn't have any issues charging this wirelessly on my Qi charger. The USB-C charging opening was also relatively good. My oversized USB cable fit without an issue. As for the S Pen bay, that was also a decent size. No issues removing or reinserting the S Pen after usage, which is good. The liquid air case from Spigen for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, in my opinion, is a very strong option if you're looking for some solid protection while maintaining that very slim and soft case profile. This case competes extremely well in the case market for what it's offering, in my opinion. The only downside that I can see is that this version does not support magnetic accessories, but for the cost, this is kind of a reasonable trade-off, as again, this is a very competitive case offering. I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below if you want to purchase one of these for your Galaxy S25 Ultra. If you like this one, drop a like on the video. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Poetic Guardian Mag Pro case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Poetic for sending this case over for us to take a look at. The Guardian case series are known for being dual layer interlocking type of cases with clear or transparent backing material, which is going to allow you to enjoy that special edition color or just the smartphone color that you ended up purchasing. In my opinion, the Guardian Mag Pro series of cases offers a solid level of protection, and we do get MagSafe support on this model. Let's dive into the protection strategy. The case kit includes two front frame options. You're getting an open frame with no screen protector for you to either enjoy the factory glass experience or supply your own screen protector, or you can choose the other front frame, which has a built-in screen protector. The built-in screen protector has a decent thickness, and it's going to hold up well against all the normal stuff that'll come into contact with your phone and cause those tiny little scratches over time. The fingerprint sensor had relatively good unlock accuracy, and I was happy with that. No matter which front frame option you end up choosing though, you are going to get some screen protection in the form of that bezel that the case is creating screen side of the S25 Ultra. This bezel extends up past the height of the screen by about 1 to 2 millimeters, which is actually a very important protection feature in flat surface drop scenarios. When you drop your phone on tile flooring, concrete or sidewalk surfaces, or even a street, you definitely don't want your glass to end up meeting that very hard surface. It's not going to end up going well. The bezel that this case is creating ensures that the case will always make that initial impact with the ground no matter what angle the phone is dropped at, and that's because it extends all around the case. The frame combined with the support of that softer TPU material that's wrapped all around it is going to help absorb and redistribute those impact forces in order to help prevent any damage to the glass. It's also worth mentioning that if you do opt for the front frame with a screen protector that's built into it, Poetic did include some of the screen cleaning and preparation materials. Definitely be sure to use those because that'll help increase the quality of the screen protector application. As for the sides, the top, and the bottom of the case, the TPU bumper all along the perimeter is decently thick, and it's going to help shield the phone well when you do end up dropping it. The corners do have a little bit of extra material, which is nice for reinforcement purposes. Eventually, you're going to drop your phone and it's going to go tumbling. You want to make sure that those corners are well protected. In looking at the back side of this case, the backing material is transparent, obviously, and it's actually quite thick. This is a lot stronger than the front side screen protector actually. This material is definitely going to be able to put up with daily use, some drop action, and I do think it's going to last quite a long time as well. The Guardian Mag Pro cases, as I mentioned before, do support MagSafe accessories. Always love when these magnets are included. You can use magnetic rings or mount your phone in your car for navigation. As for the camera protection strategy, we have a tried and true camera cutout region with the built-up bezel. The lenses end up being set back about 1 to 2 millimeters deeper than that bezel height, which is going to end up giving you similar protection to that front side bezel. When you drop your phone and it lands camera side down, those camera lenses are not going to impact the ground. The cameras on our phones are most of the reason that we actually end up buying new smartphones, so you definitely want to make sure that they're well protected. I did want to make sure that I tested this case with wireless charging. Since it's not overly thick, it did work quite well on my charger. I think it's going to work well on most Qi chargers as well. As for the USB-C port, it's well protected here since we do have a flap cover. These flap covers help keep out moisture, dust, and other debris that might corrode or just mess up that USB-C port over time, so I'm glad that they included it. I was able to fit my larger USB-C cable in the cutout without any issues. As for the S Pen bay, I didn't have any issues removing or reinserting the S Pen, so that was good to see. Lastly, as a protection feature but also just a quality of life feature, this case does feature some nice grippy sections on both sides of the case going all the way up and down. The better grip you have on your case, the less likely you are to drop it in the first place, so this is definitely a feature that I like to see. Overall, I think that if you're looking for a transparent case, the Poetic Guardian Mag Pro case definitely seems like it's going to fit the bill well. You're getting two different screen frame options, open or a built-in screen protector. We have MagSafe support, and the case overall has a relatively protective stance. This case should be priced pretty competitively for the S25 Ultra case market as well. So if you're looking for a case that has these features and functions, I definitely recommend this one to you. If you want to learn more about it or pick up one of these for your S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this one, drop a like on the video, as that tells YouTube to share this with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching cases. Until the next video, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Poetic Guardian case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Poetic for sending this case over for us to take a look at. The Guardian case series is known for being a dual-layer interlocking case type with clear or transparent backing material, which allows you to really enjoy special edition colors of your smartphone or whichever color you ended up purchasing. That's really the main draw to this case, but we should take a look at the protection strategy. This case includes two different front frame options. You're getting an open frame with no screen protector, so you can either enjoy the factory glass experience or supply your own screen protector. Alternatively though, you can choose the front frame option which has a built-in screen protector. I like this option. It's a perfect fit and the screen protector is a decent thickness. In terms of the fingerprint unlock accuracy, it was relatively good. No matter which front frame option you end up choosing though, you are getting some solid screen protection in the form of a bezel that's created by the case all along the sides and the top of the S25 Ultra. This bezel extends up past the height of the glass by about 1 to 2 millimeters, which is very important for flat surface drop scenarios. When you drop your phone, for example, on a tile floor, a concrete sidewalk, or even an asphalt street, you definitely don't want the glass actually meeting that very hard surface. It's not going to end up going well for the glass. The bezel ensures that the case will always make that initial impact with the ground, and the frame, combined with the support of that softer TPU layer wrapped around it, will absorb and redistribute those impact forces, helping prevent any damage to your phone. Because that bezel goes all along the perimeter of the front side of the phone, you can drop your phone at virtually any angle on those surfaces and it'll be protected. I like that Poetic included the screen protector preparation supplies. I definitely suggest using these for the best possible application if you opt for a screen protector or you use the frame with a built-in screen protector, as you want that application to be as clean as it can be. As for the sides, the top, and the bottom of the case, the TPU bumper that's all along the perimeter is decently thick and it's going to do well to help shield the phone when you drop it. In looking at the corners, we do have a little bit of extra material here, which is going to be awesome when your phone inevitably goes flying out of your hands, tumbling top over bottom. In looking at the back side of the case, this backing material obviously is transparent, but it's also quite thick and relatively strong. In my opinion, I think this material is going to be able to put up with the daily abuse that we all give our smartphones quite well. There's no way that anything's going to scratch through this, even though it's very clear. This version of the Poetic Guardian does not support MagSafe accessories, but you can actually purchase a version that does. I took a look at that previously. As for the camera protection, we have the tried and true camera cutout region with a built-up bezel. This bezel functions just like the front side screen bezel does. It creates a distance of about 1 to 2 millimeters between the camera lens and where the phone would actually make contact with a flat surface. That'll help ensure that those lenses don't get scratched or cracked. Generally speaking, since this case isn't very thick, wireless charging compatibility should work on pretty much all wireless Qi chargers. I tested it on mine, and I didn't have any issues vertically or horizontally. In my opinion, the USB-C port is well protected here, as it does have a flap cover. These flap covers help keep out moisture, dust, and other debris that might just corrode or really mess up that port over time. As for a hybrid quality of life and protection feature, this case does feature nice grippy sections on the sides of the case. I think that's important because it'll help you actually hold on to the case, and the better grip you have on your smartphone, the less likely you are to drop it in the first place. In general, I think this case has you pretty well covered in terms of protection and screen frame options. It looks like it's relatively competitively priced in the S25 Ultra case market as well. So if you're looking for a mostly clear case with solid protection for your S25 Ultra, I'd recommend that you take a look at the Poetic Guardian case. And if you want MagSafe support, they have a Mag Pro version as well. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Poetic Neon case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Poetic for sending this one over for us to take a look at. The Neon case series is known for being a very value-oriented, dual-layer, but slimmer type of case for the smartphones that they support. This case features very soft TPU material in the form of an inner sleeve for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. That inner layer is complemented well by the harder outer shell, which ends up forming a very solid case offering. The inner layer is nice because that TPU will basically cradle the S25 Ultra. It's going to help with absorbing the impact forces from drops without scratching the phone. As for the outer shell, it really kind of armors up this case a little bit, giving it quite a bit of structure and rigidity. This case does not come with a screen protector, so you're free to use the factory glass, but you could opt for one if you're looking for one. Even if you don't choose a screen protector though, this case does feature a screen side bezel. This is an important screen protection feature because when your phone drops on a flat surface, like a tile floor, concrete sidewalk, or even an asphalt street, you definitely don't want the glass being the first thing that actually makes the impact with the ground. The TPU material will actually take the brunt of those impact forces as opposed to a corner or side glass surface. On the back side of the case, we can see that there's definitely some textured areas where your palm would actually grip to the phone. That kind of grip solution is a little bit different, but I definitely like it. I think it's effective. As for the camera protection strategy, we have the standard camera cutout region with the built-up bezel. This works very similarly to the front side bezel. The cameras and the lenses are essentially set back about 1 to 2 millimeters when the phone and the case land camera side down. This will protect those lenses from getting scratched up, and after all, the cameras are really the reason that people buy flagship smartphones, so you want to make sure that you're protected. In my testing for the wireless charging, I had no issues getting my S25 Ultra to wirelessly charge in this case, either vertically or horizontally on my lay-flat charger. The USB-C cutout was a decent size in my opinion. My larger USB-C cable was easily able to fit. As for the S Pen bay, that was also a good size. I didn't have any issues removing or reinserting the S Pen. In general, I'd have to say that I really like the neon cases from Poetic. I tend to lean towards bigger, bulkier cases, but this case really provides a unique protection strategy without increasing the overall profile of your phone by very much. We're getting that nice mix of soft TPU and that harder outer shell with those enhanced grip areas, which is resulting in a nice, sleek, and slim design. In my opinion, these cases are super budget friendly, and I think they're quite competitive in terms of Galaxy S25 Ultra cases, so I definitely think people will be looking for these. If you're interested in learning more or picking one of these up for your Galaxy S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video. That tells YouTube to share this with other Galaxy S25 Ultra owners who are looking for slim but strong cases. Smartphones and mobile tech stuff is what I do on this channel. If you're into that kind of thing, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I've got quite a bit of content on the channel already, so definitely stop around and take a look. Especially if you're watching this video in the future, I cover quite a few different phones and quite a few different ranges of cases. Until next time, stay charged up. Today we're taking a look at the Poetic Spartan case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Thanks to Poetic for sending this one over for us to take a look at. The Spartan cases from Poetic are known for being rugged and tough-looking cases with utility in mind. This version of the Poetic Spartan case for the Galaxy S25 Ultra is an overall solid case offering in my opinion. This case is built around the dual interlocking layer frame design that has gained a lot of popularity over the last couple of years. We're getting 2 front frame options, one open frame if you prefer not to have a screen protector or you simply want to supply your own, and we have a frame that has a built-in screen protector. I really like the built-in screen protector frame option. It's a decent thickness, the fingerprint unlock accuracy is relatively good, and it's a perfect fit. Either way though, I think it's awesome that Poetic includes both options and you can decide which one you'd prefer. No matter which frame option you end up going with though, you're still going to be getting some solid screen protection from the bezel that the case creates on the front side of the phone. This bezel extends up past the height of the glass all around the case or the front side of the phone, and it becomes very helpful in flat surface drop scenarios. If you drop your S25 Ultra on a hard tile floor, a concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street, you definitely don't want the glass on your S25 Ultra coming into direct contact with any of those surfaces. It's basically game over. The bezel on the front side of the case ensures that no matter which angle the phone is actually dropped on, or in reality makes that impact, the bezel will always be the initial point of contact and not the glass. This way the brunt of those impact forces can be absorbed and redistributed better throughout the case frame and the TPU bumper. That's the rubber or plastic-like material that kind of wraps all around the case. This is a super important feature, and it's definitely going to help save your screen when your phone inevitably goes tumbling out of your hands. Continuing on with the protection features for this case, the main rear case body is very strong. There wasn't much flex without the frame installed, and basically none with the frame installed. The TPU material that I was talking about before is formed tightly, and it's firm, but it still has that nice bouncy quality, which I really like to see in smartphone cases. I don't like it when the cases essentially just go thud when the phone is dropped. I also noticed that this case has reinforced corners, which I really like as well. There's a bit of extra TPU material here, which is going to come in handy when your phone inevitably falls down some stairs or just goes tumbling top over bottom somewhere. You're going to want to make sure that those corners are protected. It's also worth pointing out that this case features some grippy traction areas on both sides of the case, going all up and down each side. In addition to those grippy sections, there's actually 3 areas on the main rear case body that the case has some really nice texturing, which is going to help increase your overall grip on the phone when it's installed in this case. In my opinion, the better your grip on the phone, the less likely you are to drop your phone in the first place. This is something that I think definitely gets overlooked, so I really wanted to make sure to highlight that. In looking at the camera protection strategy that we have, there's a camera cutout section, and of course your cameras are protected by this locking camera door. I've noticed that people really like these camera doors, and it's not hard to understand why. The camera door has a decent thickness, and it can actually lock in the closed or open position. Of course, if you drop your phone with the camera door closed, it's definitely going to protect those cameras and their lenses very well. Even if you do happen to drop the phone with the camera door open though, the case is still creating somewhat of a bezel on that camera side of the phone. So if it were to fall on a flat surface, like a street for example, those lenses aren't going to touch that hard surface. Very nice to see. In addition to that, when you keep the camera door closed, you're also preventing dust and grime from building up on those camera lenses, and you won't accidentally smudge them. It's definitely a nice feature, and I like to see that it's included on the Spartan case. Unfortunately, we aren't getting any MagSafe accessory support since there is no built-in magnet for this case. It might be possible to add that later on with one of those sticker magnets on the inside, if that's something you're interested in, but you'd have to get a relatively thin and a relatively strong one in order to make it count. The Spartan case does feature a kickstand though, and I think these are very useful for watching videos at your desk or if you're cooking dinner in the kitchen. Moving on to the charging, the wireless charging in my lay flat G charger worked really well, both in the vertical and horizontal positions. I see that the USB-C port is protected by a USB-C flap cover. I really like this feature. It's going to help keep out dust, debris, and even moisture over the lifetime of your phone, which is definitely going to help extend the usable life of that USB-C port. As for the USB-C port cutout size, I thought it was good. I was able to fit my larger USB-C cable in there and didn't have any issues. In terms of the S Pen cutout, I thought that was also sufficient. I didn't have any issues removing the S Pen or reinserting it when I was testing it in this case. In my opinion, I'd say the Poetic Spartan case is really just an awesome case if you're looking for some solid S25 Ultra protection. We've got tons of TPU material here that's going to shield the phone pretty much at every single angle, no matter how you drop it. And we have that locking camera door, as well as the USB-C flap cover. And of course, we have those front frame options, with one of them having a built-in screen protector. In my opinion, this case is definitely going to be an absolute hit for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, especially since it's coming in at just under $30. This case is really bringing the value per dollar here versus a lot of the higher priced cases, and I wouldn't have any issues recommending this over most of them. If you want to learn more about this case or purchase one for your Galaxy S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got any value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this one with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching protective cases without spending a fortune. Of course, smartphones and mobile tech stuff is what I do around here. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Today we're taking a look at the OtterBox Defender case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I don't normally work with OtterBox cases, so I purchased this one for the S25 Ultra launch. It's been quite a while since I've taken a look at a Defender case, but I can confirm they're still quite beefy where it counts. This case is relatively robust. I definitely think it's going to be a top contender for the S25 Ultra. The Defender cases have a softer outer TPU sleeve, essentially, that wraps around the harder TPC casing. It forms a shell around the S25 Ultra. The TPU layer is soft, and importantly, it's very grippy and textured. The TPU material has a nice bounciness quality to it that you definitely want to see in a smartphone case. When you're peeling that layer back, you can see the TPC casing is 2 layers. You've got the main rear case body, and a front frame which latches on or interlocks with that main rear case body. Both the main rear case body and the front frame are very rigid and strong. Together, they essentially eliminate most flex in the case. Very nice to see. Installation is relatively straightforward. You just remove the TPU layer, separate the front frame from the main rear case body, and you can install the S25 Ultra in its new case. After working with this case for a little bit, I can confidently say it's got more than enough material on the sides, the top, and the bottom in order to adequately shield the S25 Ultra in most drop scenarios. The corners are just as strong, if not stronger, and the TPU layer adds quite a bit of extra material all around, but also on the corners to help cushion any of those corner impact events. This case does not come with a screen protector, but the case does form a nice sized bezel that is raised up above the height of the screen on the S25 Ultra. This feature helps with screen protection when you drop your phone on a flat, hard surface. Think something like a tile floor in a kitchen, concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street. The outer TPU material, as well as the frame, will actually make that impact when the phone lands on those hard, flat surfaces, and not some part of the phone that's made out of glass. Glass smashing into an asphalt street, for example, is definitely not a battle you want to see the outcome of. This case, generally speaking, is relatively thick, so it's definitely going to increase the overall profile of your S25 Ultra, but you're really making it quite tanky in terms of the amount of impact force or damage that the case will be able to absorb or prevent from incurring on your S25 Ultra. In my testing, this case was able to wirelessly charge on my lay-flat wireless Qi charger. Definitely a bonus for a case this thick. As far as the USB-C goes, there is a protection flap which I really like to see on protective cases. These help keep the dirt, dust, and other debris out of that USB-C port, which keeps it working longer, if not throughout the entire lifetime of the phone. As for the S Pen Bay, it's a decent size and it has some reinforcement, which is good. I didn't have any issues removing it or reinserting it. In general, I would say that this case has to be one of the grippiest, if not the actual grippiest cases that I've actually ever worked with for the S25 Ultra. The better grip you can get on your phone, the less likely you are to drop it in the first place, so this is definitely a protection feature as well as a quality of life feature. Since this is my first OtterBox in a long time, I was surprised to see the insert actually offered a free belt holster accessory by scanning the QR code. I don't know if that's a one-time S25 Ultra launch thing or just a standard practice for OtterBox. It's the first time I saw anything like that, but it's kind of interesting. In terms of pricing right now, at the time that I'm creating this video, it's coming in at just about $60 on Amazon. So it's definitely one of the more expensive cases, up there with the Rockform rugged case that I looked at recently. I would have to say that I definitely like this case. The grip is honestly unmatched against any other case I've looked at, but they curiously aren't including a front frame option with the built-in screen protector. I know not everybody loves those, but a lot of people actually do, so that might be a thing to improve next year. I was also kind of curious that this case does not support MagSafe accessories. I would definitely love to see a MagSafe magnet built into it. This case is a little thick, so I don't know if you could add a sticker magnet onto it, but it's something that you could potentially try. Obviously, most people don't care about that though, because this is one of the best selling cases already for the S25 Ultra on Amazon. So yeah, I like this case. The maximum grip and the case feeling is really solid, and overall the protection is going to be extremely excellent for the S25 Ultra. If that's all you care about, the OtterBox Defender should definitely be at the top of your list if it's within budget. If you have a couple more bucks though, and you need a really interesting mounting system for your phone, depending on how you use it, you might want to take a look at the Rockform rugged case though. If you do need to save a couple of bucks, you can always check out Subcase, Poetic, and Tongate. That being said, if you think the OtterBox Defender is the right case for you, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below so you can learn more about it and pick one up for your S25 Ultra. If you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this with other S25 Ultra owners looking for really strong cases. Smartphones and mobile tech are basically the focus of this channel. If you're into that kind of thing, make sure to get subscribed and ring the bell for notifications. There's a ton of other case videos, guides, smartphone benchmarks, and lots of other stuff on the channel, so definitely take a look around and check everything out. Until next time, stay charged up. We'll look at the Rockform rugged case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. Rockform wouldn't send over this case for a review, so I did end up purchasing it. I know a lot of people are interested in the Rockform cases for the Galaxy S25 Ultra. The Rockform rugged cases definitely have a reputation for being big, burly cases with tons of smartphone protection. From my initial impressions of the rugged case for the S25 Ultra, it definitely lives up to that reputation. This case is honestly massive. I've never used a Rockform case before, and I must say I am impressed. As far as the side walls go, the top and the bottom, as well as the backing material, they're all quite substantial in terms of thickness and rigidity. The case definitely has that overbuilt feeling, and you'll be able to tell essentially as soon as you get it into your hands. The Rockform cases are new to me. I've never actually used one before, and I'm noticing that they definitely have a theme to all of these cases. They have pretty much extreme phone protection, and they're trying to offer quite a bit of utility in terms of this plug section and all the accessories that they sell for these cases. In my opinion, this is a neat little feature. It lets you lock your S25 Ultra in place with a much stronger connection through the use of this case and the special Rockform mounts. It looks like Rockform sells these mounting accessories for cars, motorcycles, trucks, even golf carts, and a couple of other special mounting locations. I think that's really kind of neat. I don't really know of any vendor that's doing this. As for the lower portion of the case towards the bottom, they've also included another magnet, which will really help secure the phone to your Rockform style mount or just anything else that's magnetic. Again, I haven't seen a feature like that on basically any other case before, so that's kind of interesting to me. Generally speaking, if you're looking for an ultra protective case that has a ton of extra utility and feature built in, this definitely seems like it's the case for you. It's really quite unique in my opinion, and now it makes sense why a lot of people are looking into this. Getting back to the protection features though, the meat of this case, that TPU bumper and the multi-layer backing, is really going to provide some solid protection for your Galaxy S25 Ultra. The insides of the bumper are TPU, so it's nice and soft, won't scratch the actual phone, and the backing material that the S25 Ultra rests on is covered in felt. So you can definitely rest easy knowing that your S25 Ultra won't get scratched even when you drop your phone inside of this case. As far as the corner protection goes, they are very well reinforced. They barely flex when I press and push on them, and since the TPU material around them is a little bit thicker, this is going to be ideal if your phone goes tumbling and sustains quite a few corner hits. The case will definitely do its job in absorbing that impact force and protecting the phone. While the Rockform cases do not come with a screen protector, we are getting some screen protection here in the form of the tall bezel that forms around the front side of the case. This bezel is essentially formed by the height of that bumper all around the perimeter of the phone, extending up past the height of the screen by about 1 to 2 millimeters. In addition to that, it's about 1 to 2 millimeters wide as well, which makes it one of the largest bezels that I've seen. If you're not familiar with these, they really come into play when you drop your phone on a flat but really hard ground surface. Think tile flooring in a kitchen, a concrete sidewalk, or an asphalt street. You really do not want the glass of your S25 Ultra coming into contact with any of those hard, flat surfaces. It's definitely going to destroy the phone. Since the bezel that's formed on this case extends up past the height of the glass all around the phone, no matter which angle you actually drop your S25 Ultra on those hard surfaces, the case is always going to make that initial impact, absorbing those impact forces, and redistributing them throughout the case to help protect your phone. This is actually a super important screen protection feature, so I'm glad to see that it's so beefed up on the Rockform case. I always look for this feature on the cases that I use for my personal smartphones. In terms of protection and quality of life features, this case has quite a bit of grippy sections. Running along the sides of the phone, you have traction areas which will help you hold on or grip the phone in the case more easily, and the entire backing material has this weave texture all over the back surface. I'm a huge fan of grippy textures and textured surfaces. The better grip that you have on your phone, the easier it is to hold it, and basically you end up dropping it less frequently. This does increase the complexity and the cost for the case, but if you bought an Ultra and you want to buy a really nice case to go with it, this is definitely a must in my opinion. As far as the buttons go, they're decently large and they were easy to press. The USB-C port was a very good size. The cutout is large, but there is no USB-C flap cover. just something to be aware of. As for the S Pen bay, I thought it was a good size, and I did not have any issues with removing or reinserting the S Pen. Switching over to the camera protection strategy, the cameras are well protected here. We have the dual cutout regions for each row of cameras and the flashlight. The case does form a bezel or a higher level surface all around the camera cutout region, which functions very similarly to the bezel on the front side of the case. If you drop your phone on a hard flat surface and it does happen to land camera side down, the cameras and the lenses will be protected. I do want to point out that I really like that Rockform improved on the industry standard larger camera cutout region to make it a little bit smaller and more form fit to the actual camera lens widths and fill in some of the gaps between the cameras, the lenses, and where the case would normally cut out. There's more material here covering the surface of the backside of the phone, which will definitely help with protection, and it's going to cut down on the amount of dust and debris that gets in between the camera lenses. In looking at the charging, it's a little bit different with the Rockform case than most other cases. Rockform says this case should allow for wireless Qi charging on most wireless Qi chargers, so long as you have the non-magnetic plug installed or no plug installed. That plug section on the back, you actually get two when you purchase this case. One is magnetic and one is not magnetic. When I tested this case, the non-magnetic one was installed by default, and I did not have any issues charging the phone on my standard wireless Qi charger in the vertical or horizontal orientation. They do note that if you have the magnetic plug installed, that is going to mess with the charging, so something to keep in mind. I do like this innovation of this plug switching between the non-magnetic and the magnetic. It really seems like this, combined with the standard MagSafe ring and the extra magnet, is really going to secure your S25 Ultra to whatever mount or magnetic surface you have really well. A lot of the MagSafe case accessories and magnets that are installed in cases do have a good amount of strength, but it won't be anything like this case. While I don't have a motorcycle to test it, Rockform does say that if you purchase their accessories, your S25 Ultra should stay in place and safe while you're driving a motorcycle. That's kind of bananas. I definitely have not seen a case yet that can claim anything close to that, either by magnetic force or special mounting mechanisms like what they're selling here. Overall, I would have to say if you want your S25 Ultra to play as a warrior tank and not a cloth DPS, this case is definitely for you. It's beefier than pretty much most of the other cases I've looked at. It's quite strong and rigid, and it supports MagSafe accessories, as well as the extended accessory line from Rockform. This case does, however, cost more than pretty much every other case I've looked at for the S25 Ultra though. This case is selling for about $70 on Amazon, which is quite a bit higher than the likes of Subcase, Poetic, or Tongate, for example. Again, the Rockform case is at least as tough as those brands, and it does give you the opening to get those extra mounting mechanisms. So you really have to decide if that's worth it to you or not. If you're riding a bike, motorized or not, or just need some kind of extremely strong, reliable mounting mechanism, be it magnets or that twist lock plug, the Rockform case, in my opinion, is going to be your best bet. Definitely costs a little bit more, but nobody else is really building cases quite like this. If you want to learn more about the Rockform rugged case for the Galaxy S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so head down there and check that out. If you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners. Purchasing cases like this definitely wouldn't be possible without the support of all the viewers out there. Until next time, stay charged up. Taking a look at the Tongate magnetic case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I've been taking a look at a lot of mid-range cases and some more expensive type of cases for the S25 Ultra, so I wanted to take a look at one of the more budget-friendly cases. I ended up purchasing this case because it looked like an interesting and pretty good value for somebody who was on a budget. This case is on the lighter side of S25 Ultra cases, but it does offer a decent amount of material all along the TPU bumper on the entire perimeter of the phone. This TPU material is soft to the touch, and it has a little bit of that bouncy quality that you want to see in a smartphone case. This case is relatively smooth. It doesn't really have anything in the way of grippy sections. The backing material on the black version here is frosted, so you can still sort of see the factory color. As for the backing material itself, it isn't overly thick. It's a little bit flexible, but it has some solid strength to it. This case features a raised bezel on the front side of the case, which is nice to see. This feature helps protect your screen even without a screen protector installed, because that TPU material in the bumper extends up past the height of the S25 Ultra screen by about 1 millimeter. That means if you drop your phone on a hard flat surface, something like a tile floor, concrete sidewalk, or even an asphalt street, the case bezel is actually going to make that initial impact with the ground surface and not a glass corner or side of your phone. The case will also help absorb and redistribute some of those impact forces, which is going to help reduce the chances of the glass actually cracking. As for the corner protection in this case, they all seem relatively strong. When I press and pull on them, there isn't too much give, so that should be fine under normal drop circumstances. The USB-C port has no flat protection, but the cutout is a good size, which is important for supporting multiple types and sizes of USB-C cables. For a case at this price range, I think this is a good compromise. Oh, and the S Pen bay was a decent size as well. No issues removing or reinserting it. This case does support MagSafe accessories, which is also nice to see. The magnet was average strength in my opinion. I tested it with my Anchor magnetic ring. As for the camera protection strategy, we have an individual camera opening on the left and a very pared down opening on the right for the cameras and the flashlight. I'm surprised to see this kind of setup on a more budget type of case. I actually like that it enclosed the areas around the cameras a little bit tighter than some of the other typical cutout regions on other cases. This will help increase the overall protection around those areas, and it'll help reduce the dust buildup inside of that camera cutout region. Overall, I would say if you're looking for a solid case, but you are on a budget in terms of the case for your Galaxy S25 Ultra, I think this case will really fit the bill well. I bought mine for just about $10 on Amazon. It was on sale at the time, but it does seem like it regularly does go on sale. This case was way cheaper than pretty much every other case that I've looked at so far for the S25 Ultra. It's not quite as protective as some of the thicker dual layer cases, but if you're looking for a slimmer type of case and you don't want to spend a ton of cash, this probably should be at the top of your list. If you really wanted to level up that overall protection, you probably could pair this with the tempered glass screen protector as well. That would be super cost effective and still relatively lightweight for your S25 Ultra. If you want to learn more about this case, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so you can definitely check that out. If you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that tells YouTube to share this video with other S25 Ultra owners who are researching good cases with a budget in mind. Today we're taking a look at the ESR Hybrid Case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra. I haven't tested out many of the ESR cases yet, so I figured I'd purchase this one and take a look at it. The ESR Hybrid Case is one of the more budget-friendly options for the S25 Ultra. This case has a transparent backing material, which is great if you want to see the factory color for your S25 Ultra. The version of the case that I have here today is the black color, but there is a good selection of various colors for all the different generations of cases. In looking at the protection features for this case does have a stronger TPU bumper all around the perimeter of the case. That'll be solid for protecting the phone, and it's quite soft as well. In terms of the thickness, I would say it's relatively good, especially considering the price, and I do think it's going to stand up well to average height drops. Looking at the corners of this case, they are relatively strong as well. They didn't flex a whole lot when I was pressing and pushing on them. This case does feature raised points or bezels at the top and the bottom of the case on the screen side of the phone. This is a nice feature to have because if your phone lands on a flat, hard surface, something like a tile floor in a kitchen, or on a concrete sidewalk outside, these raised bezel areas make it so the glass won't actually make an impact on that flat surface, and the case can try to absorb and redistribute some of those impact forces, which should help minimize damage when you drop your phone. Generally speaking, this case is relatively smooth. There's no grippy or enhanced traction areas. That is something I prefer, but I know a lot of people do like the smoother cases. As for the camera protection strategy here, we have a standard camera cutout region with a raised bezel. This protection strategy will function very similarly to the front side of the case. If the phone lands camera side down, those lenses won't make contact with any flat surfaces. That'll help keep those cameras functioning well over the life of the phone. As for the USB-C port, there is no protection flap. The cutout size was relatively good though. Most USB-C cables should fit without an issue. The S Pen bay was also a good size. I didn't have any problems removing or reinserting the S Pen. We're also getting MagSafe accessory support on this case, which is a nice add-on feature. I would say the magnet was average strength, and these are always super useful for magnetic rings or mounting your phone in a car for navigation. Overall, I would have to say this is a good value case if you're on a budget, in my opinion. Pairing this with a tempered glass screen protector would definitely level up the overall protection as well for a low price, and you wouldn't increase the profile and weight of the S25 Ultra by that much. Generally speaking, it looks like this case is somewhere between 15 to 20 bucks, and at that price, I think it's a good value. But it is important to remember that case quality does scale even with a couple extra bucks. If you want to learn more about the ESR Hybrid Case for the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you got anything out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you could smash that like button, as that'll tell YouTube to share this with other Galaxy S25 Ultra owners. And that's pretty much it. All of the cases that I've taken a look at so far for the S25 Ultra. If you're interested in picking any of these cases up, I'll leave affiliate links in the description below, so definitely head down there and check that out. If you're into smartphones and mobile tech stuff, obviously get subscribed to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. Until the next video, stay charged up.